Hey guys, welcome back to One Stop Biology. So in today's video, we are going to cover ecological pyramids. Guys, let me remind you that we are right now at chapter 14 of class 12, which is ecosystem. So we are at the verge of completing the NCRT series for class 12. This series is going to help you for both your boards preparation as well as your NEET preparation, right? Until now, we have covered a lot of topics. These topics include the energy flow, the productivity decomposition. So we basically studied the various structure, function, and composition, right? The different components of ecosystem. And there are four components out of which we have already covered productivity, decomposition, and energy flow, right? So today we are going to study about ecological pyramids and then we'll complete the nutrient cycle, which is the fourth component, right? So let's see what ecological pyramids are. Now we are, always aware with the shape of a pyramid, right? I hope you guys are aware of the shape of the pyramid, right? So if you see a pyramid, in that what happens, the base of the pyramid is always broad and then it narrows down as we move upwards towards the apex, right? So if you see the relationship, right, between food or energy and organisms, if you see the relationship between food and organism or the energy and organism at different trophic levels. We in the last video we also studied about the different trophic levels, right? So there is a relationship which is expressed between both the food and energy and the with the organisms, right? So this always is expressed in the shape of a pyramid, right? So we'll see what exactly it is, right? So basically I said the food or energy relationship is expressed in number in terms of now three things. It is either expressed in terms of number, or it is expressed in terms of biomass, or it is expressed in terms of energy. Right. So the base of each pyramid, this is the base. Remember, guys, this base of each pyramid represents the producers, right? So the first trophic level is represented towards the base, right? And then the apex. So this is the apex. Now this apex represents the tertiary or we can say top level consumer. So if we talk about the three different types of ecological pyramids which are studied, it is pyramid of number, then pyramid of biomass, and the third one is pyramid of energy. Right? So we'll see all these three pyramids one by one, right? Now, any calculations, remember that any calculations of energy content or biomass or number has to include all organisms at that trophic level. So let's see the first one, which is pyramid of number. So this, guys, is the pyramid of number. Okay, now here you are basically able to visualize something like this, right? So the base is broad and then the apex is narrower, right? So you see a pyramid-like structure. Now here, as I said, the base is what? Producer. So the base is primary producer. Then, which is the first trophic level. Now the second trophic level is primary consumer. The third trophic level, secondary consumer. And the fourth trophic level, which is tertiary consumer, right? Say if I count it in terms of number of individuals, this is around 5 842,000. Right? So this is 58 lakh. Now this is pyramid of numbers in a grassland ecosystem. Here you'll have to read it. This is what? This is pyramid of number in a grassland ecosystem. So there are only three top carnivores which are supported in an ecosystem of a grassland. Right? So this is based on production of nearly 6 million plants. Right? So here we just have three tertiary consumers. So 58.42 lakh is primary producer, then around 7 lakh is primary consumer, then around 3.5 lakh is secondary consumer, and then we have just three tertiary consumers. Right? So here we see an exact pyramid where the base is broad, which is the first trophic level, which are the producers, and then the top consumers, right? The top level consumers are towards the apex, which is narrow. So this is the pyramid of number. Now let's see the pyramid of biomass. Now guys, again, this is the pyramid of biomass. Again, you see shape of a pyramid, right? So again, the base level, the first level is primary producer. Then the second level is primary consumer. Then we have the third level, which is secondary consumer. And then the top level, which is tertiary consumer. Right? Now let's see the dry weight here, because the first one was pyramid of numbers, so it was number of individuals. This is pyramid of biomass. So here it will be as per the dry weight, right? Here 809 kg per meter square. Then the primary consumer would be 37. 11 is secondary consumer, and the top consumer, the tertiary consumer, is just 1.5 kg per meter square, right? So here what is happening is that pyramid of biomass here shows a sharp decrease in biomass as we move towards the higher trophic level, right? So you'll notice that here there is a sharp decrease in the biomass as we move towards the higher trophic level, right? So this is pyramid of biomass. Now the third one, here you will find some big changes in the pyramid shape. The third one is inverted pyramid of biomass. So in some cases, what happens is in some ecosystems, basically what happens is that we, as you move towards the higher trophic level, the number increases, and that is why you find an inverted pyramid. So this is an inverted pyramid, right? So this is basically of an aquatic system, an aquatic ecosystem, where you are comparing with two things. So the producers are phytoplanktons and the consumers are zooplanktons. Now, when we compare the number or biomass of phytoplankton and zooplankton, the number of zooplankton is much higher, right? So a small standing crop of phytoplankton supports a large standing crop of zooplankton, right? So here the base is again primary producer, which are phytoplanktons, and then we have primary consumer. Primary consumers are zooplankton, the animals, aquatic animal population, right? So if you see here, here the dry weight, which is again in kg meter per square, right, is 4 in case of primary producer, the base level, and it increases to 21. Right? So you see an inverted pyramid where as we move towards the higher trophic level, the dry weight is increasing, right? So basically in case of biomass, you will get a normal pyramid of biomass as well as an inverted pyramid of biomass, right? Now let's see the last one, which is pyramid of energy. Now since we started off the chapter, we were always clear that energy is going to be decreased as we move towards the higher trophic levels, right? And we said that there is a 10% rule. So only 10% of the total energy is transferred towards the higher trophic level. Again, here you see a proper pyramid, right? Where the base is higher and the apex is narrower. So again, here we have the primary producers. Then we have the primary consumers. Then we have the secondary consumers. And then we have the tertiary consumers. Now here you will see only 10%. So if it is 10,000 joules in case of primary producer, 1000 will be in primary consumers, 100 will be in secondary consumer, and 10 joule will be in tertiary consumer. And here we know that this is the energy which is coming from the sunlight, right? So this basically, we can say that here the primary producers convert only 1% of the energy in the sunlight which is available to them. And this we have already studied previously as well, right? So now we know that how the pyramid of numbers, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy looks like, and what happens in terms of number, biomass, or energy when we move towards the higher trophic levels. Now, again, I'll say this thing that any calculation which we do in terms of energy, biomass, or numbers, they have to include all organisms at that trophic level, right? And guys, here in most ecosystems, what happens in most of these ecosystems, all, right, all the pyramids numbers, or say pyramids of number, energy, or biomass are upright, right? So basically, producers are more and in number and biomass than herbivores. Again, herbivores are more in number of biomass and carnivores, except for the exceptions, right? Like we saw in case of biomass, if we talk about the aquatic system, it is inverted, right? Now you'll have one more thing, right? So basically, we said pyramid of biomass in sea in aquatic system is generally inverted. In similar way, pyramid of energy will always be upright. It can never be inverted because energy, when it flows from one particular trophic level to the next trophic level, right, to the higher trophic level, some energy will always be lost in the form of heat, right? So it will always be decreased if we compare it from the previous trophic level, right? So there will always be a difference, right? Now let's see what are the limitations of ecological pyramids. So if we talk about the ecological pyramids, right, it does not take into account the same species which belongs to two or more trophic levels. So say if there is a species, right, which is an omnivore, which means it is a herbivore as well as a carnivore, right? So if in there would be cases that this species is going to belong to two trophic levels, it does not take into account the same species belonging to two or more trophic levels. Then the second limitation is that it always assumes a simple food chain, right? And this simple food chain, this ideal food chain never exists as it is in nature, right? It is always disturbed, right? Then it does not accommodate a food web. Here they only take into account the food chain, not the food web, although we know that all of these food chains are again connected with each other and these connections are known as food webs, right? The fourth one is that saprophytes. Remember guys, saprophytes are not given any place in ecological pyramids. However, we have seen that they play a very important, a vital role in the ecosystem. So guys, there are limitations of ecological pyramids as well, right? So with this, we have finished the topic of ecological pyramids, and I hope you are now well aware of what all the different types of ecological pyramids are and what are the drawbacks and what are the limitations of ecological pyramids, right? So guys, with this, we'll end this video and we'll meet in the next video. If you like this video, if you have understood this video, please do like it and share it with your friends. And guys, if you have any doubt in regards to this topic, please do not hesitate in sending your doubts. You can either message me on the comment of this video, or you can also send your doubts on WhatsApp. And yes, if you are not yet a subscriber of this channel, if you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to it and press the bell icon to get all the updated videos that I'll be posting in this series. Okay guys, see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.